respecting your privacy by knocking, but asserting my authority as your father by coming in anyway!
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the funniest and most recurring jokes in the ongoing misadventures of Timmy Turner and his fairies. If you've never snickered at these gags, there will be spoilers.
We're out of milk! Dinkleberg has gone too far this time!
Number 10. The continuously missing wands. A wand is a fairy godparent's most important tool. Too bad Cosmo and Wanda can't always keep track of theirs.
Oh my gosh, she's got my magic wand!
A magic wand in the wrong hands could mean total disaster. And Vicky's hands are the worst hands around.
Now and again, they end up losing their wands at the most inconvenient times. It could be from an unexpected accident or from their own doing. And by theirs, we of course mean Cosmo's.
So that's what con means. I've been wondering ever since that guy sold me the Brooklyn Bridge. Whoops! Dropped my wand!
Regardless of the cause, the pair are left powerless, and Timmy is forced to rely on his wits to get out of a jam, at least until the pair can find their missing wands. It may seem like a cheap method, but it helps raise the stakes in these magical misadventures.
People of the daylight, prepare to share your bounty!
Number 9. Doug Dimmadome? Meet Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome.
Doug Dimmadome? The owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome?
That's right, Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome.
This multifaceted business tycoon has more running gags tied to him than we can count, from his collection of towering hats to his Dimma verbal tick. But arguably, his funniest and most notable running gag is his back-and-forth conversations with everyone else.
A Maxi Mini Mall?
A Maxi Mini Mall!
Yay!
Not yay!
Not yay?
Not yay!
He could be introducing himself or announcing his next evil plan, and someone will repeat his statement as a question just to confirm they didn't mishear him. In the end, Doug happily confirms what he said and repeats it a second time.
But more milk means more mind control, and more mind control means more money!
More money?
More money!
The delivery between the two conversationalists ensures that the gag never gets stale, mostly thanks to Doug Dimmadome himself. Number 8. Vicky's head gag. Suffice it to say, running gags are the Fairly OddParents specialty. Every episode has at least one or two.
Yeah, right!
Before the action officially starts, even the opening intro has its own running gag. At the tail end of the intro, right after Vicky mutters, "Yeah, right," her head is magically poofed into a random object.
Yeah, right!
She could turn into someone or something from the episode. She could poof into a member of the show's staff, or she could swap heads with someone else on the screen. Nothing is off limits for the show's take on the legendary Simpsons couch gag, but it's guaranteed to get folks excited for the actual fun to begin.
Yeah, right!
Number 7. Dark Laser and Flippy.
Now, to take over this new and strange world with these mighty weapons of fiery death. Hey, Flipsy!
Dark Laser is one of the most sinister forces in the galaxy. However, there's one thing he loves even more than conquering the universe. Flipsy the flipping dog.
Man, I'd never get tired of that.
Whenever he gets a chance, even when he's intimidating his foes, Laser can't resist taking time to worship and gush over his toy companion. He gets unbridled joy from Flipsy's tricks and even treats the plastic dog as his most trusted advisor, seeking its opinion on important decisions.
But first, I must check with my most trusted advisor. What do you think, Flipsy? Flip once for recruit, Turner, and 2 for destroy.
These two are inseparable, and honestly, who can resist cracking up at watching the big bad space warlord melt like butter over a robotic dog toy? Number 6. Mrs. Turner's cooking.
I had just enough time when I got back from work to make my special pink flamingo casserole.
Ew, that casserole's great.
While Mrs. Turner isn't the best mother, how is she as a cook? Arguably, she's even worse at that.
Oh no! Pink!
Mom still can't cook!
Her pink flamingo casseroles turn flat and gray, her cabbage casseroles could be registered as lethal weapons, and her meatloaf takes on a life of its own as it tries to fight back. While her food is unsightly, a later episode reveals that her disgusting-looking meals can actually taste amazing, showing that you can't judge a disaster roll by its cover.
Wow, this is totally awesome!
Even when her food does taste as bad as it looks, you have to respect her for trying. At least it's nowhere near as bad as her gardening. Number 5. What could possibly go wrong? Picture this. You're Timmy Turner, and you just made a huge life-changing wish. Things are going swell, but then you say those 5 fateful words. What could possibly go wrong?
Sport? When Vicky sees this, she's going to kill you!
Not as long as I have you guys to protect me. What could possibly go wrong?
Right on cue, everything takes a downward spiral, and you're scrambling to fix the mess. Much like in the Bubsy franchise, what could possibly go wrong has practically become Timmy's catchphrase.
Now, about those changes to your life, you need a catchphrase. Something you say all the time, like, what could possibly go wrong?
His wishes backfiring is inevitable, and yet he can't resist tempting fate by asking aloud. Usually, Timmy doesn't even have to say the exact phrase for things to go wrong, but it occurs so often that it's usually expected that someone say it first. It's common courtesy, after all.
Come back! No one had a chance to say what could possibly go wrong yet!
Number 4. Mr. and Mrs. Turner's first names.
Hey, Dad! Well, that's my nickname, stranger. My real name is...
We know Timmy's parents can be irresponsible dimwits, but there's one thing we still don't know. What are their real first names? They're mostly referred to as Mom and Dad, Mr. and Mrs. Turner, or simply Timmy's parents, but we're never on a first-name basis with them. The mystery ended up becoming a running gag throughout the show.
Wow, my mom is a kid.
Yeah, and she's got a beautiful name. It's... But everyone calls her Mom.
Whenever it feels like we're finally going to hear their true names, something conveniently censors the big reveal, making it equal parts funny and frustrating. The closest we have to an actual answer is their code names when they were the Poltergeeks, but it just isn't the same.
We moved from one side of Dimsdale to the other. We even had to change our names. I used to be called Mom.
And I used to be called Barnaby.
Number 3. Internet? Cosmo and Wanda have given Timmy a lot of useful and fun stuff along the way, but some of his wishes are harder to hide than others. Whenever anyone asks where he got a certain thing, his go-to response is, internet?
Killer crash suit, dude! Yes! Wherever did you get it?
Internet?
It doesn't matter if it's something as simple as new clothes or as impossible as heat vision. Whatever it is, Timmy likely got it on the internet.
Timmy? Dude, you look positively popular. Where'd you get all this stuff?
Internet? Inheritance? I inherited the internet.
It's not too hard to believe. You can buy almost anything online nowadays. And the way everyone just shrugs and accepts it makes the gag even funnier. However, Timmy should still be careful. The excuse won't work forever.
Where did you get all these nice things?
Internet?
And where did you get the internet?
Number 2. Dinkleberg. Sheldon Dinkleberg is undeniably the nicest neighbor anyone could ask for. But in Mr. Turner's eyes, he's evil incarnate. And he's not shy in letting us know.
Hey, Turner! Check out my new barbecue.
Dinkleberg.
He could quietly mutter Dinkleberg's name, loudly curse said name for all to hear, or randomly blame him when something goes wrong. He'll go out of his way to spite his cheerful neighbor, and it usually ends as well as expected.
My hedges! Curse you, Dinkleberg!
The gag has become so iconic that it's become a meme with fans, and our sides are guaranteed to ache from laughing every time it pops up. So always remember, if something goes wrong in your life, you can always blame Dinkleberg.
Cloudy with a chance of rain? This can only be the work of...
Morning, Turner!
Dinkleberg.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Juandissimo Magnifico's shirt. Quandissimo has an endless supply of shirts when he rips his current one.
Now, which one of you mundane nobodies considers yourself deserving of the touch of Quandissimo Magnifico?
Naggy Wanda. Wanda's sensibleness comes off as naggy most of the time.
I'm a nag. Let's do the nag dance. You nag it to the left, you nag it to the right. I always nag my husband all day and night.
Yay! She's finally listening to me!
Cosmo the Disaster. Cosmo is a flying disaster, but that's part of his charm.
The sparkling utopia that was Atlantis?
I know how to make it cleaner!
Or the high-tech gleaming utopia that was once Xanadu?
I call it Pittsburgh!
Super Toilet. Cosmo's fright is our delight.
And don't make him relive super toilets.
It took the plunger! The whole plunger!
Crocker's ear. Someone has to keep pointing out Crocker's weird ear placement.
Wait a second. Where are the roller skates? They're the key to the whole plan. Must I do everything?
That thing on your neck. Is that your ear?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Fairy Godparents! Denzel Crocker has 2 major obsessions, giving children Fs, and of course, Fairy Godparents!
No normal child could have access to that type of genetic technology. There's only one logical explanation. Fairy Godparents!
Crocker can't resist spasming whenever the subject comes up, as he screams loudly about fairies. What really sells the gag is how he's animated during these spasms. His body contorting into any shape and size imaginable, and occasionally getting injured in the process.
You might need this.
Honestly, Crocker is the only one who can pull this gag off. If anyone else tried to pull it off, it just wouldn't be the same. Crocker won't give up until he finally captures a fairy, but until then, he'll just keep us in stitches with his animated freakouts.
Feeling guilty, he impulsively loans her his Fairy Godparents!
What was your favorite Fairly Odd recurring joke? Let us know in the comments.
Oh man, my mom is a terrible cook!
Oh, I don't know. That's only the 3rd time the firemen put out her food this week.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.